key. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, record. All right. All right. You ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, record.
Okay, I am recording.
Cool. Starting the timer. Boom. Oh, I knew I forgot to do something. Oh, well. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I'm Brendan Creecy. Phil is still on vacation after a long Comic-Con, so I am joined by my friend and friend of the show, although I don't know if you've been on the show by yourself. Have you, Emily?
I don't think I have, no.
I remember there was a few attempts, more than one. And
yeah, I don't think I've ever been on it all, though, no.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Probably just like, I think, like Benview Megacast stuff, and that's about it. Well, hey, welcome to Radio BrendoMan, finally.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
It's a monumental thing because this is our 350th episode.
Know that. Wow. I feel honored.
Yeah. I mean, Phil's in Palm Springs, so he can't enjoy this glorious occasion.
Yeah.
350.
I will try to honor him in his absence for this special occasion. I need to go let my dog back in because she's being very indecisive. She just keeps demanding to be let in and out of the
Oh my
room.
gosh. You're which one? Which dog?
Pretty, the oldest one.
Okay. Well, you go ahead and do that, and I will fill in the audience. We just got back from Comic-Con. Well, I just got back from Comic-Con, and Emily was down in San Diego, but not for Comic-Con, really. I mean,
I did make it in on Sunday, though.
Oh, you did?
That's good. I got a Sunday badge, so I was able to go for one day.
What'd you do on Sunday?
Just walked the floor.
Nice.
Spent too much money. Classic stuff.
What'd you get? Anything cool?
Yeah, I got a set of D&D dice.
Oh, nice.
Colors of the trans flag. And then I bought a Star Wars dress. It's like it's got little landscapes of Jakku on.
Oh, I think I looked at those with Phil and Janelle. I think we looked at those dresses. I know exactly which ones you're talking about.
Yeah.
Those are awesome dresses.
Yeah, it was a really cool dress, and they had like a fitting room in the booth, which was crazy. So like I could see that it did fit, so I couldn't stop myself.
Did you see the ones? I think it was at another booth, or it might have been that booth, because Janelle almost got one. They were like Disney park themed ones. There was like a Haunted Mansion one. Like,
no, I didn't see those.
Oh, they were like, it was like the pattern of the Haunted Mansion wall, and like some other cool looking ones. I don't know. Janelle orders these really cool ones from I forgot her name. It's like this lady, and she has this Etsy store, and they're like really cool, like Disney, like for like, you know, like going to the Disney parks, because they're not like obvious. Yeah. And like when you're going to Disney and there's so many obvious things you can do, you want to try to be different.
Yeah. And go for a more subtle look. Yeah.
Oh, the Brave Little Tailor. That's her name. She's on Instagram. Yeah. And she does just these amazing work. Wow, this is new territory for Radio BrendoMan, talking about Disney fashion. Yeah, fashion corner on Radio BrendoMan. I like it. Speaking of fashion,
sorry.
I was going around with Andrew and Derek on preview night, and the first thing we noticed going around, I don't know if you noticed this, the shirts and hats have gotten like stupid expensive.
I didn't look at the shirts or hats at all, so I did not notice that.
Yeah, like, you know, like the big wall of t-shirts, like I swear those things used to be like $15-20.
Yeah.
It's like 2 for $50 now.
Jesus.
Like 2 for $45 plus tax, so it ends up being like $50. Like
yeah, I passed the Tower of T-shirts, but I didn't look at the prices.
Yeah, wow. They've been jacking up their prices because people like come to the con and they're like, oh, I need this stuff because I want to, because I'm here, and
yeah,
and so they just keep jacking up the price. The hats were like the hats were really crazy. Those were 2 for $50, or some of them they were like the cheaper quality ones were 2 for $40. And so I started taking pictures of stuff and looking it up and I found it all on Amazon for like a fraction of the price.
Yeah.
So I ordered 3 snapback hats on Amazon for the price of like 1.5 if I had bought them at Comic-Con, and they were the exact same ones, and it's all licensed stuff. And if these are, because I ordered a licensed Ghostbusters hat from Amazon, thinking it was going to be like some bootleg thing, and like it had the Sony tag on it, and if it's a bootleg, it's the best bootleg I've ever seen. And $12, man, is great deal.
Nice.
And I've seen that hat all over Comic-Con for like $25. So I don't know. After that, I was a little weary on shopping. But I lived vicariously through Andrew, who bought a bunch of stuff.
Nice. And the dress I got was $60, which, like, I mean, for like a dress is not
that's
too
a good
bad.
deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in a definite money saving mode. Because yeah, it's hard. It's so hard. But I was like, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla Battle of Los Angeles tickets go on sale on Thursday, and it's $85 a night. So
oh shit. Yeah.
So all 3 nights is gonna be like, that's $255 plus PayPal fees.
Yeah.
So I think I did my math right there. If I didn't, don't correct me. But
you send corrections to me. I'll take the hit.
Send your math corrections to @verycoolemily, and don't tell me. But yeah, so I'm like, I have to be there because it's I'll try not to talk too much wrestling, because I know you're not like following it this much these days, except when I text you crazy things that are happening.
Yeah.
But I will say, and I think you can appreciate this, it's kind of insane where everybody's at now of the people that were wrestling when we were going to all those indie shows together. Like,
yeah,
it's
I mean, the little
really,
I've heard from you seem insane.
It's really nuts. Like, I would say, like, just thinking about even the people from around here, like your local guys, like all like the biggest stars from MWE that we knew, like your famous Bees, Joey Ryan, Brian Cage, Willie Mack, like those are your local SoCal guys. Those guys, you can all watch them on Netflix right now on Lucha Underground. Like, that's crazy, considering like we saw them wrestle. And then you've got your like, who was on the national scene at the time, the biggest successes of which are like obviously like Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen, now Kevin Owens, and your Chris Heroes and those guys. But now it's like everybody's in WWE. They all are. They're all there. Your Rich Swann, T.J. Perkins, Brian Kendrick. Even Brian Kendrick's back in WWE. Pretty much everybody that wrestled on those QPW shows they went to are either in WWE or Ring of Honor or New Japan, or a combination of those. Kyle O'Reilly, who we saw wrestle, I think the last QPW show I went to, just got signed to WWE. So I don't know. I don't want to ramble on about wrestling, but I just think that's cool, and that's what makes punk rope pro wrestling cool. Like indie shows, it's like punk rock. 'Cause you're like, we saw all those guys wrestle in a bingo hall, and now they're on TV and being very successful. And for me, it's kind of inspiring, because it's like those guys worked, those men and women worked really hard and gave up so much of their life and their time, and now they made it, and that's cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
So I don't know. Back to Comic-Con. We had a lot of fun just kind of hanging out at non-official convention stuff.
Yeah.
My highlight with you and Andrew was we made it into the Kingsman burger party thing.
Yeah, that was so weird. Kingsman just took over the Hard Rock, and like gave everyone free burgers and drinks.
And not just like, because we were expecting like sliders and like a weak watered down beverage or something, and you got a full burger with chips, and not like Fritos or something, like homemade chips.
Yeah, like fancy chips.
Fancy chips, and 2 very stiff drinks.
Very stiff indeed, yes.
So yeah, by the time I think, Emily, by the time you got there, I had already had like 2 old fashions.
Yeah.
And like, man, we had a good time. We were singing karaoke. Well, we were singing along with the karaoke.
That must have been when I was like talking to Andrew, because I do not recall that happening.
I was singing Bon Jovi. I don't know about you.
At the Kingsman thing?
Yes.
I don't recall that at all.
I think you were in the bathroom or talking to somebody.
That checks. I did go to the bathroom at one point.
Because
I remember I was singing Sweet Caroline at one point.
That happened too.
Yeah.
We were all singing and having a good time. I was talking to strangers, which is something I love doing at Comic-Con. I normally don't do it, but man, like Andrew and Derek could probably do a whole podcast about all the conversations I had with Lyft drivers in front of them. Because I don't know, it's so easy to talk to people at Comic-Con, and also there's free alcohol everywhere, so that also makes it even easier.
Just sort of lubricates everything for you.
Yes. And I don't know, I had a really fun, chill time this year. And I was bummed you didn't get to go to the whole thing, but you know, you just come back from your trip to Canada, and so, you know, and you know, you went to see the McElroys, which is exciting.
I did, yeah. I ended up seeing them, including I've seen them 3 times this last week.
Oh man, what was what was the first one?
The Adventure Zone, which I saw on Friday night during Comic-Con. That's
okay.
The D&D podcast that they
do,
for those who aren't aware.
Mm-hmm.
Then my brother and me, which is their main show on Saturday, and then yesterday I went to the At Midnight taping they did.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, man, that's so awesome. How was the At Midnight?
It was a lot of fun. It was weird. So the only taping I'd been to before ever was a Conan taping. I've been to a few of those, a couple with you.
Oh yeah, we went for my birthday and another time, yeah.
Yeah, and what was different here was they didn't have an applause sign. Instead, they just had like 2 dudes at the front of the audience.
Yeah,
sort of like lifting their hands up when you're supposed to applaud and then supposed to stop.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's cool. I was very surprised to see that At Midnight is ending.
Yeah, I mean, I never watched the show, so
I never really did either. But I just know it's like a huge thing in the comedy scene.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are all these comedians like? It gave a lot of comedians like a lot of visibility and jobs and stuff to do. So I hope something's gonna fill that void.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of comedians that I liked were on that show.
Yeah.
But I'm not up at midnight, and it felt weird watching it like on Hulu, because I feel like that's a live experience, you know? So I never really watched it that much. So it's my fault. So I'm sorry, Chris Hardwick.
I think Chris Hardwick is fine.
I think he's gonna be okay. He's gonna be okay.
I think he's fine with his 10 other shows that he has.
His 10 other shows and his Hearst fortune.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that.
No, man. Yeah, I saw Chris on the IMDb boat, but he was like, of course, running off to somewhere else. Yeah. So I didn't get to talk to him. I was a little bummed. Because we were once on a podcast together, which is still kind of crazy that happened. And I was, man, I still can't stop thinking about that IMDb boat. I wish I was still on it right now. And I really love that boat.
You played Call of Duty with some, what is that called?
Yes, I did. I did. Oh my God.
I think that's very
Yeah,
crazy.
everybody listen to the Benview Megacast because you can hear about me. I ended up playing Call of Duty with a lot of people on Saturday. I was, because like I would just like, I'm just gonna, they would always need somebody to fill in. And so I ended up playing with some of the DC, like some of the CW show people. I'm not sure who, because I don't watch any of those shows.
Do you remember which shows they were from at all?
I know there was some Legends of Tomorrow people on board at one point, and I did know who Brandon Routh was because he's on that now, which is sad. I'm like, you got demoted.
Yeah.
Like you were Superman, dude.
Everyone.
What does he play now?
I don't know.
Do you know?
I don't know.
Because I don't know. Okay. And then who else was on there? I saw the kid. Well, I like shook his hand, but didn't get to talk to him. The kid from Big Daddy, who is now Jughead on Riverdale, and
awesome.
he was a very handsome boy.
Yeah.
And but it's weird. But I'm like, he's older now, but still like that Big Daddy. I can't get that out of my head. But he doesn't look anything like it. Like I forgot who told me that. I forgot who told me that. But until somebody told me that, I didn't know that was that kid. I had no idea. But and then I was like, well, now what does his twin brother get to do? Because they don't really need him anymore. I don't know. That's kind of sad.
I don't remember the character Big Daddy well enough to know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, the kid and Big Daddy, they had two of them so they could swap them and have them longer. You know the Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah. No, I know that movie. That kid's Jughead now?
Yes.
I didn't realize that was. I didn't make the connection.
I guess they're the twins.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. But then I'm like, well, so so he had a twin brother, and I'm like, if that kid's an actor, like, did they both audition? How did that work? Like,
yeah.
Or are they like not telling us that there's going to be some crazy evil twin Jughead storyline coming down the pipe? Because you know how like the one Buffy episode where they used Nick Brendan's twin brother? Actually, maybe they used him more than once. I'm trying to remember. But they used him a couple times. It was very creative. So you didn't have to do. So you could do really good twin stuff. Like you have an actual twin. You don't need to do that Haley Mills mirror tricks or whatever it is that they do.
That's something you could put on your resume as an actor with a twin.
I have a twin.
If you ever need a twin storyline,
I got one. I can save you so much money. It's still weird that they did that that all of Parent Trap is just camera tricks. Can't believe it. The more I think about it, like, that's crazy. That must have been a pain in the butt to film.
I mean, yeah, probably.
I don't know why I've never thought about the practicalities of filming that movie. Did they film every scene twice? Or they just okay.
I don't know. I tell you, Brandon, I wasn't on set, so
no. I think I remember seeing they actually had a documentary, and they filmed the scene with just one of them, and then she had to film the second part by herself. That couldn't have been easy, because then like the second time you're not acting against anybody, and then they like merge the plates. I don't know what film.
Most acting is now.
Now, yeah. So Haley Mills was a trailblazer. She was acting to tennis balls before anybody. I wonder if it was a tennis ball.
The Parent Trap. I've only seen the Lindsay Lohan version.
Oh my gosh. Well, you should watch The Parent Trap, and then you should watch all the other Haley Mills Parent Traps, because there's like 6 of them.
I did not realize there was more than one.
Oh, there's like they made the one in like the 50s, and then when she like grew up, they were like, all right, Disney Channel needs lots of movies. And I think it was actually the ABC Wonderful World of Disney, and they made like a few of them. And where she was like
Disney Channel original movies, I would have seen them because I watched all of
them. No, it was definitely ABC Wonderful World of Disney, and the Parent Trap 2, which is my favorite. So now it's her, and her daughter is trying to parent trap her.
Okay. And does her sister still? come into play?
Yes, except all it is she calls her sister, and her sister's like in California somewhere, and they talk on the phone, and that's it.
Does she have twin daughters herself?
No, but
Okay.
it's not full Parent Trap. It's just this girl meets another girl, and they realize their parents are compatible. So I guess it's not really Parent Trapping. Just hey, we're gonna set our parents up. So I guess it's a lazy Parent Trap.
If it was the same, if it was the exact same in every movie, it would get tiring.
Also, it's like, wouldn't they have figured out not to abandon their kids?
Yeah, they're like, wait a minute, I know this trick.
Because also, like, the more, like, somebody brought this up, like, those people are really shitty parents. Like, the worst parents. Like, what happened in their marriage that they're like, hey, we're going to make our kids not know that they have a sibling? Like, there had to have been, like, careful planning. Bad.
Yeah.
Like, there had to have been meetings and lawyers and, like, I don't understand.
I don't remember from the Lindsay Lohan version. Was there a sort of supernatural element where the twins maybe sensed each other before they met, as twins?
I don't think so, but maybe. I don't know. I don't remember that.
Third version of Parent Trap where that does come into play.
But
although I suppose I'm just talking about the X-Files episode Eve at that point.
So in the Parent Trap 2, it's the dad is Tom Skerritt, and I mean, who can resist? So I don't know. I really like that movie.
Can you help me and remind me on Tom Skerritt? That's a name I recognize, but I can't place it.
He's like in Top Gun. He's like the guy that tells the mentors Tom Cruise. And I just know him from the Tim and Eric episode where they're trying to get Tom Skerritt to be in their commercial. And I don't know. And they sing a song about Tom Skerritt. And he's in a bunch of us. He's like your 80s TV dad kind of guy.
Gotcha.
He's in a lot of stuff. I don't know. No, he's not like any of the TV dads, but he's got that TV dad thing. But I think he was like a movie. He's like a movie dad because I think he was too big for TV. But he's definitely got that TV dad look.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like Mike Ditka.
That's interesting.
But maybe not really. Maybe I'm just imagining that. That's just, I don't know.
You're just projecting Mike Ditka onto Tom Skerritt.
Yeah. I don't know.
He was an alien.
Oh. Yeah, he's the main guy in Alien. Duh.
Yeah.
That movie, that Tom Skerritt. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know exactly what that is.
There you go. I knew he was in something big, but within a few years after Alien, he was Parent Trap 2 in it. So,
yeah.
What are you going to do?
Do you remember who the mom was in Parent Trap 2?
What mom?
Oh, it would have been Haley Mills.
It was Haley Mills.
What am I thinking of? Yeah.
I was like, you mean her?
I got lost in the plot.
It's pretty tricky.
Thinking of it as an organic story instead of a Parent Trap sequel.
I was obsessed with these movies. I do find it interesting because like you and Andrew are like a whole different, because you're still a VHS kids, but totally different VHS tapes. Which I quickly realized when Andrew's #1 movie on the recent Movies Made Me podcast, available at mmmpodcast.com, was We're Back, a Dinosaur, whatever that,
That's
dinosaur.
A fucking great movie though, Brendan.
If I had,
so much
I had, okay.
Brendan instead of Brendo, because that's how serious I'm about.
I'm not making fun of it, because if I was a VHS, if that was my VHS when I was a VHS kid, 100%, because that movie got swept under the rug so fast, which made me realize that was a Universal movie, wasn't it?
I think so. That sounds true to me.
Didn't it come out the same year as Jurassic Park? Were they just like totally going dinosaur crazy over there, or what?
It was the 90s was, everyone was dinosaur crazy.
Oh, I mean, I guess there were like 5 Land Before Time movies released in that decade. And
I can confirm it was 93 and it was Universal.
So yeah, they were like dinosaurs. Like we're just we are gonna make so much money between Jurassic Park and We're Back. I mean, and then I don't know what they were thinking. I wonder if they did have how high their hopes were for that movie, because I don't remember it getting a huge push.
like you saying this right now is the first I've ever heard of it not like getting a good reception or whatever. Because so it came out in '93. I was 2. I knew it through VHS, loved it. All my friends loved it. This is like the first I've ever heard that like
Well,
We're
I'm
Back is not
sure
a
it was a great
beloved.
VHS movie for you guys,
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying. I had no idea that it wasn't just a beloved massive success. Like I just assumed it was because everyone I know loves it.
I seriously, for a while, because I definitely did not see it in the theater, and I didn't even know that it came out in the theater. Because that's how 1993. I don't even know. There wasn't a whole ton. I mean, Jurassic Park, but I mean,
Yeah.
as far as animated stuff, I mean, that was like Nightmare Before Christmas, which bombed.
Yeah.
What else came out? What Disney movie came out there? Oh, was that Lion King? No, Lion King was '94. So
Yeah, I think
I don't even know. Oh, Aladdin? No, and that was '92. So
that. Yeah, I would believe either of those, but I don't know Disney super well, so.
well, but yeah, we're back. I was like, all right, Andrew's got me hooked. So I listened to that whole episode like in one sitting. Normally, I break it up.
We're Back is also probably what's immediately solidified a lifelong love of John Goodman for me.
Oh yeah, well, I mean that was in his. He was in a lot of voice stuff.
Yeah.
During that. I mean, I guess he has been doing voice stuff pretty much. If I were John Goodman, I would do all that stuff. Because, man, when you're like that big, and I feel like if it's like, let's say you have any kind of dry spell with movies, and you're that big, they probably you can just do voice work all the time, and you don't even have to. Man.
Yeah. Yeah, voice work in cartoons, Frozen Peas commercials. That's all you need.
Do you think isn't there like a real beef between like the real voice actors and then like celebrity voice actors? Like there's a lot of resentment, I think.
Isn't that like a huge part of the documentary? I Know That Voice.
Yes. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because I know they were like, I don't know, but it does suck because like when you're Tom Kenny or somebody, and now you're competing with like every A-list actor in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's got to be a little tough sometimes. So then I've noticed now it seems more that they'll have like their A-list actor troupe, then they throw the like whole voice actor people like they got their like little B parts.
Yeah.
In a lot of stuff. Because like Tom Kenny and those guys' names pop up in all that stuff just way down the credits.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to like shit on anyone, but I was watching the trailer for or I was in the theater and I saw the trailer for the Nut Job 2. And
they're making a second one?
Yeah, they're making a second Nut Job.
I guess all those kids movies they're gonna make money.
And that movie's like starring Will Arnett, who like I love Will Arnett, I love Arrested Development, even though in retrospect it's maybe one of the most transphobic TV shows like of recent memory.
Oh man, yeah.
Like 3 different horrible plot lines. But that I was saying, like Will Arnett is not like an A-list celebrity, but he's also not a voice actor. Like they're also competing with them too.
Yeah,
which has got to be kind of rough.
Yeah, that's why I think the voice act like professional like those voice like the voice actors are so like tight knit and like protective because like they are like getting pushed out of their jobs kind of, which is everybody should like check out because I know they're making a TV show now, like a show, like a series for I Know That Voice.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, they I think they had a panel at Comic-Con that I didn't get to go to. I didn't go to a single voice panel at Comic-Con, which I always try to go to some because they're very entertaining.
Yeah.
And you always hear because again, like because it's such a small world, the guy up on stage or that lady up on stage probably voiced like half your childhood. And then they go real deep. They're like, I was a shirt tail. I was a get along gang person. I was 3 different snorks. And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, and then if you get like Maurice LaMarche or somebody up there, that's like everything.
Yeah.
And then he always starts doing his Orson Welles. Oh, it's great.
Also because like half his characters are Orson Welles.
That is 100% true. Man, like, did he just like from a young age he's like, I got to get this Orson Welles thing down.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be so muddy. I am
Kids
the Orson
in the
Welles.
80s and 90s are going to love my Orson
Welles. The fact that even in Ed Wood, like, did Vincent D'Onofrio attempt to do Orson Welles' voice, or did they know they were gonna dub his voice in?
Yeah, I don't know.
I want to hear the Vincent D'Onofrio attempted Orson Welles voice, because maybe it was good. It couldn't have been that good, right?
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they like paid Maurice LaMarche to do his impression, like, how good could it be? Derek and I just saw that in the theater. There's a Tim Burton double feature of Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Ed Wood at the New Beverly over the summer. It's great.
Yeah.
And R.I.P. Martin Landau, who is so amazing in that movie, but will also be remembered for his role as Sal Bandini in Ready to Rumble.
Yes.
Which
I
is
saw
a
that movie
weird...
for the first time like a couple years ago. I cannot believe that it was not my favorite movie when I was 8, because
oh man, shit, that movie has you all over it. I told you, remember, I would tell you about it on MBWS. You're like, what are you talking about? What? And I'm like, yeah, this happened and this happened. You're like, what? I'm like, yeah, that movie's amazing.
I feel bad for all the people who made that movie, because they made it specifically for me, and I just didn't watch it. I just completely missed it.
Because you weren't a WCW fan?
Probably, yeah.
You were like a WWE person.
Yeah.
You watched, you like the Big Show and stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, were you even aware of WCW?
I mean, I knew it existed, but I'd never watched it. And also,
by that time, it was like the worst.
WCW was like gone.
Gone, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I love that movie, but it's so bad. Like, it's so ridiculous. I think, what's your favorite wrestler cameo in that movie? Because I have like a few. I can't decide, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to. I don't want to just have dead air here.
I think my favorite. I'll go. I have two.
I have my favorite. I've just realized my favorite.
Okay.
It's Randy Savage for sure.
I was gonna say, Randy Savage was it was so amazing, because I think that may have been one of the first appearances of super jacked Macho Man. Like, where everybody's like, holy shit, what happened to Macho Man? And then my second favorite is man, there's so many though, because like Goldberg's is really stupid. Sting's, when he's just up at the top of the raft, I don't know, that's goofy. But then I think my favorite thing of with the actual wrestlers stuff is Sid Vicious and Perry Saturn is like the stupid henchman. When they go and try to kidnap Martin Landau's character Sal Bandini, and he like beats the crap out of him, and he like pops up out of that little trap door, and like just like so insane. And because I'm like, Sid Vicious could kill Martin Landau, like I don't care. Like, but I guess because and the other thing is like that character is so inside baseball when it comes to wrestling, because like nobody, I would say 90% of the people watching that movie in theaters don't know that it's like it's a parody of Stu Hart, which is like really deep and random. And
I feel like those kinds of movies always like, they're super weird, and like most everything about them is like the result of some weird writers team of 20 people in the studios and trying to make an appealing movie. But there's always like one little thing that's just like a super inside thing, because at some point one wrestling fan saw, I was like, I'm gonna get this in the movie whether or not it kills me.
I think Vince Russo like wrote a pass on that script. So that like some of it, so that part does make sense. Yeah. Because that was during that era in WCW, and like they were just throwing money at everything. Yeah. And I'm thinking of, now all I can think about is Ready to Rumble, because it's so crazy. But I remember I went to that movie in the theater having no idea what to expect, because the trailers didn't make any sense. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? David Arquette's a wrestler, and Oliver Platt's a wrestler, but there's also real wrestlers, and Diamond Dallas Page has a big role in this movie, and like, what is happening in this movie? So when they go to that first wrestling match, and you get to see like Diamond Dallas Page and Oliver Platt like planning their match in the ring, I was like, this is more inside than the freaking Beyond the Mat, which came out around the same time. I'm like, they're showing how they make wrestling matches happen.
Yeah.
Like, that was pretty crazy. But also it made it seem like wrestling was sort of real.
Yeah, that film takes place in a weird universe where wrestling.
It's fake real.
All the stuff. Yeah,
like,
it's
because like at the end of that movie, they actually like in the movie universe, they throw Diamond Dallas Page off the top of that giant death cage, and
yeah,
it's crazy. Also, I was really disappointed that because that death cage was actually that triple decker cage was actually like kind of amazing, but that whole thing, them having that and then using it at a pay-per-view, like led, I think was directly part of the events that led to David Arquette winning the NWA WCW world title. So yeah, that whole thing is nuts. All right.
Time.
Well, I think we've talked about all that stuff enough. We did not have any reader mail this week. I would encourage people to go to our contact page at radiobrendo.com and click the contact link. Hit us up, Twitter, at BrendoMan, Instagram, Facebook, all that, and we'll read your stuff. Yeah. As long as it's not gross. All right. Check out if you go to popvoxmusic.com/store, that's where you can buy our vinyl record, 7-inch. That's a lot of words. Our 7-inch vinyl record featuring me and Phil talking about vinyl records. It's a little mini episode of Radio BrendoMan. And I think they're $20 with shipping included, and you get an MP3 download. That's at popvoxmusic.com/store.
It's a great deal.
Yes. Because vinyl's expensive, people. And yeah. Also, you can get our book, Brax the Alien Rocker Presents Tales from Planet Earth Volume 1 at Amazon or Lulu. The links are at braxcomics.com. All these links are also at radiobrendo.com. And speaking of Radio Brendo, man, that's a podcast that you're listening to, and it's also on the Benview Network.
Yeah,
that worked. That's the thing. But there's lots of other shows on the Benview Network. And hey, Emily, why don't you talk about your and Andrew's new show? Because I've been really enjoying it.
It's called the Super Mario Brothers Minute. Andrew and I watched the Super Mario Brothers live-action film from 1993. This is a big year from our big episode for
my gosh,
dubious films from 1993.
There was a lot happening in freaking Super Mario Brothers.
But we watch the live-action Super Mario Brothers movie minute by minute, and we also watch each minute the number of times that it is. So, like today, we just released the 17th minute, which means.
Wait, who made Super Mario Brothers? Is that Universal?
There were also dinosaurs in that movie, like more than they should be from the games.
Jurassic Park just took over the whole world.
I think it was Universal. I'm not 100% sure, but I actually do think it was Universal. I'm gonna double check that real quick.
Man, because that's like. They really thought they had the dinosaur market cornered, if that's the case. Yeah, because the Wizard...
It was not Universal.
Oh, the Wizard was Universal. So I'm thinking of the Wizard. That was Universal, not Super Mario Brothers.
It was, let me see. It was distributed by Walt Disney Studios through Hollywood Pictures.
Whoa, it's a Disney movie.
Yeah.
That's unexpected. Oh man. So they must have known it was bad if they threw it off to Hollywood Pictures, not even Touchstone. They wouldn't put Touchstone on that thing.
It's not bad, Brendo, is the thing. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Hollywood Pictures was like their like D-list label.
Yeah.
If they wouldn't even put that at a Touchstone like catalog. Hey, I'm willing to give it another shot. I have been very entertained by your podcast.
That's funny. Each minute the number of times it is. So 17, we watched it 17 times. It's gonna get insane. Please listen.
So let me ask you this question: how old were you when you first saw Super Mario Brothers?
I would have been 5 years old. I tell this story on the podcast.
Yeah.
I saw it for the first time on VHS at daycare. In our daycare school, they for some reason showed us this, not paying attention, didn't see
Mhm.
into it, but I was enthralled.
Oh
I
yeah,
was
I'm
loving
sure
it
if I
so
was
much.
5, I would be captivated. But unfortunately, Emily, I was
It holds
not
up. It does
5.
hold up.
I was not 5. I was 13, and I wanted
Yeah.
a Super Mario Brothers movie.
The Super Mario Brothers movie. That is the exact wrong mindset to go into seeing this
Well, I
movie.
mean, God forbid they call it Super Mario Brothers and
Well, I was just talking about this.
advertise it. I'd been reading about this movie in Nintendo Power for I swear like 5 years. I'm
I was
like,
just talking about this with Andrew on the episode we recorded today.
Mhm.
I really love just the fact that this movie exists, like, because it is so bizarre. It is so
well,
different from anything in the Super Mario Brothers canon
mhm.
that I really like that at a certain point.
Well, yeah, totally.
Everyone just kind of lost their minds. It was like, fuck it. What if this is what Mario is now?
Well, as we've come to learn, like in his interviews that he talks about, like Miyamoto, like he's like Stan Lee in the sense that Stan Lee spent years trying to get Marvel movies made. Miyamoto has been trying to get a Mario movie made like forever. It's like his dream.
Well, he succeeded in 1993.
Well, he's still trying. According to him, he's
Yeah.
he's still trying to get that movie that he wants made. I don't know. I mean, so here's the thing that I thought was really dedicated about your show. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to be mean because I think I'm very impressed. You watch for the whatever minute number it is. That's how many times you watch the minute.
Yeah. Yes, that's correct. I was trying to explain that earlier. I think maybe I might cut.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I do that. So, like as I was saying, we just released minute 17, so we watched that one 17 times. We recorded 3 episodes today, 19, 20, and 21. So we watched those 19 times, 20 times, and 21 times.
Oh my gosh!
It's gonna get real. It's gonna get buck wild by the end because we're gonna get to minute 100 and we're gonna have to watch it 100 times.
You're not gonna. There's no way you're gonna be able to look at that remotely from an objective point of view or anything.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're gonna have we're gonna fuse our actual brain cells are gonna fuse with the film, and we're gonna connect with it on a level that no one ever has before.
Well, I'm excited to get. I can't wait till we get there because I will definitely be listening to that episode.
Yeah. Yeah,
this is Emily and Andrew, and we just watched something 100 times.
We're gonna get confused. We're gonna introduce the show as Luigi and Daisy. We're gonna not understand who we are anymore.
You're gonna be in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys think that it's great that there's just like mushroom fungus and that the king is a fungus? I mean, I guess he's a mushroom.
100%. I think that's great.
What about Yoshi? I mean, come on.
Yoshi looks cool. He's a cool little velociraptor.
Okay, I can't even right now. So
Toad is like a weird hippie.
Do you think they somehow? Okay, do you think that they somehow snuck in to ILM and like compared their like Yoshi to the velociraptors in Jurassic Park, and we're like pretty close?
Yeah, I do.
Because they're very similar.
They are. They do look very alike.
Wait, did ILM do Super Mario Brothers? Because if so, like
I cannot believe that that's the case.
There's no way, right? That was probably.
Do you know who this for Super Mario Brothers?
Hmm.
Alan Silvestri.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So they were throwing some money around. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
Well, that's like one of the I forgot which of the one of the movies in an MST in the new MST3K had a freaking James Horner soundtrack. I'm like, how is that possible? Yeah. Sometimes people have money. Doesn't make it like it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm trying to figure out who did the special effects. I'm not seeing it on. I'm not seeing it. Oh no, that's not. I thought this would have been the special effects, but no. The 2 directors were hired. We talked about this on the show. They were hired because of their work on Max Headroom.
Ooh.
Yeah. Which really,
I was
it
a
makes
big
sense.
Max Headroom fan growing
So
up.
I think you could get into Super Mario Brothers then, because I think there's
That
a similar
vibe there. Now
aesthetic.
that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah.
it does have a Max Headroom vibe. I could see
Yeah.
that. Okay.
See, I'm
All
gonna
right.
win you
You're
over.
already selling me more on this. And I also, man, Andrew was talking about Roger Rabbit on Movies Made Me, and now I wanted to watch that, but it's the New Japan G1 Climax tournament, and they're doing a show every day until August,
Yeah.
and I have to stay caught up, otherwise I'll never catch up. And I don't know. I'm very overwhelmed right now with everything, and it's also post Comic-Con depression, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yeah.
And
Happens to everyone. So
I don't know. I'm thankful for my medication. uh, so so that's our Benview spotlight, but also be sure to check out all the other shows on the Benview Network at benviewnetwork.com. You got Mandarin Orange Show, Star Wars Nerd Unite, Ray Gun Readers, Faux Boys, Anna Musings, and Nothing New, the new podcast about remakes featuring Andrew Lindy and Justin Keyson.
Yeah.
Also, sorry.
I ran into David and Kayla from Anna Musings at Comic-Con. And,
oh yeah.
I think I'm going to be on an episode sometime to talk about how much I hate Disney movies.
I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah.
See, there you go. They're open to other opinions.
Yeah.
So that's good. I actually just saw them at the. I tried to get over to them, but they took off. We went to a panel about animatronics called. It was featuring Bob Gurr, who basically invented animatronics, and
awesome.
It was really cool. And they also, because he got fired from Disney in like I want to say like the late 60s, early 70s, and immediately went to Universal and made King Kong, the big giant King Kong animatronic, which is one of the best animatronics ever made. So yeah, he really, and now he does stuff all over the world, including Disney as a contractor, which he probably gets paid way more doing that than he ever did working for Disney as an employee, which is great. Good for him. Just take all that money. Because he worked on like their new Mystic Manor in Shanghai Disneyland, which I don't know if you've ever checked that out on YouTube. It's pretty incredible. And
I hate theme parks, but I do love animatronics.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I don't hate theme parks, but I really, really love animatronics.
Yeah.
And then he worked on this. He showed a bunch of photos from this new ride that he just opened at a park in the Netherlands, and it looked crazy.
Yeah.
It was like this, because it was based off, it was like an original, because the stuff he seems to be doing now is like, it's not based on anything. It's like these original stories. And that's where I think you can get really creative with some of this stuff, because you're not bound to these licensed set characters. And yeah, anyways, that was cool. And it seems like David and Kayla were doing a lot during Comic-Con. You can check out their show, Anna Musings. Also Kayla's show, which is The Artist Tree, and Midnight Marinara, and what's their other one? Undercooked Analysis, right?
Yes.
Okay. I got to put that one down on my list. Speaking of lists, if you want to make a list-based website, you could save $50 doing that. Whoa, that was lame. Go to radiobrendo.com, click the DreamHost link, and you'll save $50. Okay.
That was a good transition.
I wrote so many good jokes.
That was a very cheesy joke. I'm sorry.
That was good. I wrote a bunch of awesome jokes last night and went to the open mic because the guy invited me back, but I don't know if it's a weird test that the host does, because after specifically inviting me back this week, and I got there early, he then proceeded, I didn't get picked.
Oh.
So I don't know if that was some weird open mic host power move.
Yeah,
or
some bit of hazing, perhaps.
But I'm like, okay, and then I think he seriously was waiting. I think he was waiting for me to come up afterwards and get mad at him because I watched other people yell at him for not putting them on. But me having, one, I am a decent human being, and two, I understand how open mics work. I just said, thank you. I'll see you next week. And I think he was very impressed.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
also, it was a really good open mic, and I really liked it. So I was glad I went, and I met some cool people. So
That's awesome.
yeah, I've been going to this is the second week in a row. There's an open mic in Riverside called Rupo. So if anybody in the Riverside area, it's RUPO. It's at Back to the Grind Coffee House from 9 to 11, and it stands for Riverside Underground Performance something. I just forgot what that, something. Underground Performance Object? No, that doesn't sound right. Organization, maybe? I don't know. They said it, and I was like, that's really good, and now I totally forgot it. But check it out. Hopefully I'm going to get back up soon. But either way, it's mostly poetry and type stuff, but it's really good. And music, mostly poetry and music. Some guy got up, and the only thing remotely resembling comedy this week's was a guy got up and told a story about being an extra on a movie. It was an entertaining story.
Yeah.
They basically, the gist of the story was they were using airsoft guns in a student film on a college campus, and nobody bothered to tell the campus police that. So of course the cops came, and although they almost got, and the guy in the story almost got shot by the cops.
Yeah.
That was, yeah. But I did do my stand-up there on last week, and you can check that out at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BrendoMan. And yeah. So also on our website, if you want to support us, Radio BrendoMan, which we could use your support, we're trying to finish up our Kickstarter goods, and working on the new Brax book and getting, BrendoMan All Stars, the new EP, which is coming out. So
awesome.
yes,
very exciting.
Well, we have some. We had to dip into our slush fund to finish those up. So now we need people to get some more Amazon stuff, and we also, if you want to get on the Amazon Prime bandwagon, if you're not yet, we got free trials. If you go to radiobrendo.com, click the Amazon Prime free trial, you get a 30-day free trial, and after that, it's $99 a year. But Amazon Prime is an amazing deal.
It's very good.
It's great for buying things. It's also, they got a ton of stuff on their Instant Watch, and Amazon Originals, man. I think they're creeping up on people. I mean, they got a lot of good stuff. They've won a lot of Emmys too, not just Netflix. And I haven't watched. I want to watch season 2 of. Have you ever watched Man in the High Castle?
No,
that's pretty cool.
It's the Wolfenstein TV show.
Yes, yes. So with Shang Tsung from the Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh, that's awesome! I love that movie.
Yeah.
That really, even though I never played the Mortal Kombat game, that was a beloved movie of my childhood.
Oh, dude. Okay, I love the heck out of Mortal Kombat, the movie. Yeah. Like, I think it's easily one of the top 5 video game movies, which isn't that hard. Not that big of a title.
There are a lot of great video game movies.
Okay, like what?
Super Mario Brothers.
Oh man, okay. What about? Do you like any? Do you like any of the Uwe Boll video game movies?
Did he do any of the Resident Evils?
No, I don't think so. No, he did like the really bad ones, like Blood Rain and Alone in the Dark, and
I don't think I've seen any of his.
And House of the Dead, which was not filmed in a house and instead filmed on an island. It's not Island of the Dead. That's a different video game. That game wasn't even out yet when they made that movie.
I don't think I've seen any of Uwe Boll's work.
Maybe he predicted Island of the Dead, the video game.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Time. Just like
I'm trying to think of other games. Double Dragon. Do you like Double Dragon with Scott Wolf and Robert Patrick? That was what Robert Patrick made some bad choices following Terminator 2. Because I feel like he could have gone stronger. He ended up being really good on The Sopranos and some other stuff, but I mean, I think Double Dragon was like his follow-up to Terminator 2. Now, I think there was some years in between there, but
Someone is knocking at the door, causing a lot of barking. I'm just gonna go answer that real quick. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's okay. So okay, I'll just keep talking here. We got our Amazon. Even if you don't have Amazon Prime, be sure to check out our Amazon link. And whenever you buy Amazon stuff, go to radiobrendo.com first, and then click on the Amazon banner, and we'll read some of these stuff off. Are you back?
I am back. Yes.
Okay. All right. So here's what people bought this week using our Amazon link, which this is the easiest way to support Radio BrendoMan, besides rate, reviewing, and subscribing on iTunes, which I think this might even be easier than rating, reviewing, and subscribing on iTunes, because that involves like you have to sign into iTunes and
because the stuff you're gonna buy anyway.
Exactly. So somebody bought The Walking Dead Volume 27, The Whisperer War, which reminds me that I am beyond behind on The Walking Dead since they're on Volume 27 of the trades, and I think I'm on Volume like 15.
What issue does that correspond to?
Man, I don't know. Let me look.
Because
where are you at?
Last time I was reading the comic, I was on the single issues, not the trades. I feel like I dropped off somewhere in like the 130s.
Okay, so this collects 157 to 162, so that's not that bad.
But I mean, I'm still pretty behind. It seems like.
I mean, that's like 20 something issues. That's way more. I think I haven't gone much past 100. Man, I remember when you got Walking Dead 100. Didn't they release it at Comic-Con?
The Wednesday of Comic-Con, yeah.
And you were like, just
because comics come out on Wednesday.
You were completely freaking out, and then you went and met Robert Kirkman. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, because I bought Walking Dead 100, got on the train to Comic-Con. I couldn't read on the train because I get motion sickness super easy.
Yeah.
And then met Robert Kirkman, but I hadn't read it yet, and I was.
Oh, you hadn't read it yet?
Because I had no time. I literally I bought the comic on the way to the train station.
Oh yeah, and then we immediately went right in there, and then I remember we were walking. And Robert Kirkman had no line because he was getting ready to leave.
He was officially done signing, and the security guards had just leave, but then he just hung out and didn't care that. And then
because we totally just walked up to him. I definitely remember that because I remember I was sorry.
That a spoiler would come up in the conversation somehow.
Well, he sounds like he's a good guy because that could have been the spoiler of all spoilers. What if Robert Kirkman had spoiled that for you?
That would, I mean, technically, I mean, I'm.
Is it a spoiler if he tells you?
Yeah, I don't know if that counts as a spoiler because me reading the comic is technically him telling me.
Exactly, but man. But then because I remember I was nowhere near issue 100. So then I remember when you did read it, you were freaking out. But I'm like, don't tell me. But then I was like, oh, you could tell me because I'm so far behind. And then you did tell me, and then I freaked out.
Yeah.
I think you showed it to me, and I was like, holy crap. Because that's one of the gnarliest things. That's one of the gnarliest things I think I've ever seen in comics.
Yeah.
That was crazy. So anyways, that's somebody bought The Walking Dead Volume 27. We also got Back by Midnight. I don't know what this is. I think it's a book. I'm going to guess.
I've heard that title before.
Book. Movie. It's a movie starring Rodney Dangerfield, Randy Quaid, and Creecy Alley.
That checks out.
He's in a prison. He's in a jail. I've never even heard of this.
I've seen the cover of that movie, but I don't think I've seen
the actual movie. I guarantee you Phil owns this.
Yeah.
This sounds. Oh, you know who else? Oh, so it's Rodney Dangerfield, Randy Quaid, Creecy Alley, Phil Lamar, voice actor, and Pulp Fiction, and Paul Rodriguez. I'm not sure 100% who that is. Directed by Harry Basil.
Oh, Harry Basil, great director.
When Warden Jake Pulaski's Rodney Dangerfield requests for funds to remodel the prison are turned down by Eli Rockwood, Randy Quaid, Jake takes matters into his own hands. He masterminds a hilarious scheme that turns the rundown prison into a country club.
This sounds like it was either a Rodney Dangerfield or Randy Quaid movie generator seems to have come up with this idea.
Because that's weird. Because like that sounds like Caddyshack, but without like the country club part. Sounds like Caddyshack. Like that's weird. Yeah. Sounds weird. All right, I have to check that out sometime. It's someone paid $7 for this on Amazon. Okay, let us know. Let us know. All right, we got a Yamaha medium boom arm.
Nice.
So someone's getting a boom for a microphone. I think that's what this is.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well, that's like it's for. Oh no, this is for cymbals, not for a microphone.
Oh, for cymbals. Interesting.
Yeah. So I believe this might be a Matt Zappa purchase, unless there's another drummer in our audience. Which, if so, reveal yourself. All right. I want to know if you've seen any of these movies because this sounds like an amazing Saturday night. Okay. They got an action-packed movie marathon featuring Cyclone, Alienator, Eye of the Tiger, and Exterminator 2. Mind you, Exterminator 2.
Yeah, this sounds like an Asylum pack.
Let me check. It's made by Shout Factory. This is one of their new... They've been doing a lot of these, kind of like finding these just really random movies.
Yeah. Are they like old movies?
Oh yeah, these are like Grindhouse, but one of these features Cyclone is I'm sorry, I'll go faster after this, but some of these you gotta read these. When her inventor boyfriend Jeffrey Coombs from Reanimator is murdered, Terry Marshall, Heather Thomas from The Fall Guy, must keep his high-tech futuristic motorcycle from falling into the wrong hands. Martin Landau, Troy Donahue, and Martin Breeswick from Thunderball co-star in this explosive and thrilling adventure.
Wow.
Eye of the Tiger, when former Vietnam veteran and ex-con, I love these names, Buck Matthews. Do you know who stars as Buck Matthews?
No, who?
Gary Busey. So when Gary Busey returns home to find his town is overrun by a sadistic motorcycle gang, he enlists the help of a fellow vet to win the town back.
Yeah.
Yaphet Kotto from Alien and William Smith from Conan the Barbarian also star in this. All these movies sound the same. They fight people.
Yeah.
The Exterminator. Oh my God, this sounds amazing. This is. I have to watch these now because this sounds like a gender swap Terminator ripoff.
Interesting.
From a remote space station prison, an iron-willed alien warden sends an indestructible assassin, the Alienator, after an escaped prisoner who's crash-landed on Earth. Oh shit! Starring Jan Michael Vincent.
Oh fuck.
PJ Souls, John Philip Law, and female bodybuilder Tegan as the Alienator. Okay, I have to watch this movie.
I would like to watch that movie as well. That sounds very good.
Oh, dude. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I gotta find that because that sounds great. Curse you, Shout Factory, and whoever ordered that. All right, we got a Motel Hell Collector's Edition Blu-ray. You see Motel Hell?
I have not, no.
Classic. It's a classic late night horror. I think it was a regular movie on Joe Bob Briggs, that drive-in show that he had where he'd show old horror movies. All right, we got Zach Design Star Wars episode 7 Kylo Ren sculpted bank. So I guess it's a piggy bank. We got an iPhone case. Doesn't look like anything special. Going for the practical, not the flashy. Like it's about as plain of a case. It's just gold and black.
Yeah. Very
standard. All right, we got Dr. Queen, RGB, RCA splitter cable, component adapter, audio cables. Man, I need to get some audio cables. I don't know what the heck's going on my TV, but like half the time when I turn it on, whenever I change the input, like then I don't have any sound.
Huh.
It's driving me nuts.
I have something from I mainly watch TV on my I mainly use my TV with my computer, which is plugged
Mhm.
into an HDMI switcher because I also have my PS4.
Oh yeah, those can. I know those sometimes can have issues.
And it's a weird thing where it's sometimes it'll say, "Oh, you can't use HDMI doesn't have audio. You can't use HDMI for audio." Is the error message I'll get, and I'm like,
Ugh.
and so I just cycle through the switcher, and then the audio works.
Do you have a PS4 or what do you?
PS4, yeah.
Because I've
And a
had a
Wii
problem.
U.
Hmm.
And I was saying, sort of sarcastically proud, and a Wii U.
Well, I have a Wii U as well. But you
Like the
actually,
remote.
I haven't been playing it. I don't think I played my Wii U in quite some time.
I played it a bunch with Breath of the Wild.
Well, yeah, you got Breath of the Wild on Wii U.
Yeah, that game is it's fucking incredible. I love it so much.
So like the Wii U version is solid. It sounds like
Yeah. Yes.
it's not just like an afterthought.
Yeah, I was able to play a little bit of it on a Switch too at a friend's house. I will say the Switch version looks slightly better, but other than that, they're the same.
Yeah, I've watched YouTube videos and I couldn't tell which one was which really.
Yeah.
Like it's the exact same game. It's not like because I would compare it to like when Twilight Princess came out. Like I had the GameCube one. It was great.
Yeah, I played it on the Wii, but same thing.
I wanted to get it on the Wii because I remember Twilight Princess. You needed that disc in order to be able to. For a while, you needed that disc in order to be able to hack your Wii.
Interesting.
So I ended up buying it later.
Huh. I ended up lending it to my friend Brandon Jimenez in senior year of high school. Never got it back.
Man, screw you, Brandon.
Yeah.
Want that Twilight Princess back?
Yeah.
All right, we got a platinum doctor. I already did that. I did all this. Oh, platinum 6.5 feet polyester 100 UPF beach umbrella. So it's 100. Is that like the sun factor?
I don't know.
Does that mean it's like a 100 level sunscreen?
It's 100 feet. It's a very large beach umbrella.
Man, well, somebody's going out to the beach.
It's more
Real
a circus
quick. One of my I thought the most impressive thing that I observed at Comic-Con was the way, because it's like city law that they can't have like enclosed tents out on the like pier and stuff where they like wait for Hall H.
Yeah.
So they have basically come up with the most they can do with those windscreens without it being fully enclosed. And it's pretty amazing to see some of the stuff that these people have created out of those windscreens. Because I've seen where like I watched a cop come up to one of them and the guy's like, that's an enclosed tent. And he showed a hole in the flap where it made it like this, like the craziest technicality I'd ever seen. They'd read they had the statute to the letter. And so he was showing him how no, it does not break any of these laws.
Yeah.
So they could, and they're basically tents. They're tents without officially being tents.
Huh.
So maybe that's what this beach umbrella was part of.
Huh.
All right, we got another RGB coupler splitter, video audio 5 RCA. So these are RCA stuff. Maybe somebody's messing around with some video capturing.
Perhaps.
All right, we got Lego Batman movie on Blu-ray disc. I need to see that. I've heard it's amazing.
It's a very good movie.
Phil went to the Lego Ninjago panel, which I was actually into after seeing the trailer for.
Panel?
Kumail was at the panel.
Because that's all I know about that movie is that Kumail's in it.
He said Kumail was there. Michael Pena was there. A ton of people were there. Dave Franco. The only person who wasn't there, and I almost went to the panel because I'm like, you never know. What if he did show up? Was Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan was not there.
Yeah. Were you in Hollywood when Jackie Chan showed off his crazy skate man?
God. I think that was all of our like greatest thing that ever happened to us at Comic-Con.
Yeah. That was so good.
Oh my God. Like, cause he was there and Arnold was there and they like were like hugging him. And then like, that was the same year that Arnold just started basically quoting all his own lines. Gosh, that was nuts.
Yeah.
Man. All right. I think that's going to do it for this episode. We'll pick back up next time. Be sure to go to radiobrendo.com. Emily, where can we find you?
Twitter at verycoolemily, and all my podcasts on BenvyNetwork.com.
Yes. All right. Well, that's going to do it. And so for Radio BrendoMan, you want to sign off with me, Emily?
Sure.
Oh, you don't know the new sign off. Well, that's okay. You can just say your name, and I'll do the sign off, and then you can do it next time.
Okay.
All right. So for Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creecy.
I'm Emily Schmemily.
And have a good one, everybody. And John Goobang Do. I want you going to tell you what that means.
You're not going to tell me what it means?
No, I'm just kidding. It's a dumb thing we've been doing for the last 100 episodes because someone ordered, it was from Amazon actually. Someone ordered this. It's like a Chinese knockoff version of like a set-top box, like a Roku. And it's called, the company and the device name is Goobang Do. And so we went to their website to find more information, and it was all this horrible English. And on it, it was on the about page. It's this guy, and it's clearly a stock photo, and it says, "Hi, I'm Mark from Princeton." That's all. That's his name, Mark from Princeton. And then here's my company. And then at the end, he says, "Thank you," and John Goobang Do. And I think he's saying join Goobang Do, which is also awesome if that's their slogan. Join Goobang Do. I don't know. It's great. So we just thought that was really funny, and we've been saying it ever since. All right.
Goobang Do.
So if you can save this file, like if we could do it two separate ones, that'd be great. So this is number 350.
Okay. Finally saved. You reminded me when you said you thank God for your meds after Comic-Con. I need to go take my estradiol. I'll be right back. It's right over on the other side of the room.
Okay.
So I am dissolving this under my tongue, so I can talk, but apologies if I sound a little weird.
That's cool. This one, I think we're gonna do because I just realized I have a recording of me and Derek and Andrew that I wanted to use. So this one will probably only be we'll be done by 10:15 for sure.
Cool. Awesome.
All right. Let me get Audacity going again. Oh, it's getting hot. It's getting hot in here. Yeah, I've never heard of this Rodney Dangerfield movie. But Joyce Rogers said, "Movie is so funny and glad to find it."
I think we had it on the shelf at Blockbuster when I worked there.
Wait, what the hell?
That's where I know it from.
Oh man, there's some reviews on this page that I think aren't for this product. One of them says, "Expect at least a few defective water guns." I don't know what that means.
Maybe it's a line from the film.
Well, they only gave it 2 stars, so I don't think they were happy. Oh, here's a 1 star. Has to be the worst movie I've seen in a long time. It was a waste of my money. I feel ripped off. I feel bad for Rodney Dangerfield to be associated with such a horrible script. His name is the only reason I bought the movie without ever having seen it before. It was a waste of 90 minutes of my life to even watch it.
I can't imagine it's not super racist.
Oh, yeah. Sounds super racist.
Because, if he's using the inmates as labor at this country club.
Oh, I didn't even think about it. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Rodney Dangerfield must have needed the money when he agreed to do this film. I remember Rodney for a stand-up comedy for the movies Easy Money and Back to School. Back by Midnight was a waste of great comics talent. R.I.P. Rodney. but this movie is a big and total dud. Frowny face. This guy says, "Forgetta space bout it," and bout it is all one word. I'm a Rodney fan. This one don't cut it. 3 question marks. I think he's very confused. All right, let's get rolling. Sounds weird. Here. All right. Whoa, that was the YouTube video. I almost incepted myself. All right, you ready to record this one?
Yes.
Okie doke. Let me just change the timer here. Sorry. Did you start your new job? Or you got a new job, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
At Starbucks.
So did you start it yet?
No. I'm gonna be house sitting for like a week.
Oh, that's right. You got that house sitting gig. That's cool. Do they have dogs?
They have a Basset Hound puppy.
Oh, that's right. You told me about that. Oh.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, when I was really little, my mom and dad had a Basset Hound, and like I think it was around when I was really little, but they had to give it away because it was eating everything. Like it ate all my baby clothes, and it ate my mom's Christmas ornaments, and then like they had to take it to the vet, and like it just ate everything, and like my mom couldn't take care of a baby and make sure that the Basset Hound didn't just eat everything. So like something had to go.
Yeah.
Because it was like she said it was like having 2 babies. Because you couldn't leave it alone. And it was very sad because I see the pictures of me with this little tiny this Basset Hound, and it's adorable. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I could have been like the Basset Hound boy. All right. Let me set this to 30 minutes. All right. Here, close this. All right, you ready?
Yes.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Record.
Okay, I'm recording.
I'll make sure. Hello, welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I'm Brendan Creecy, and I am once again joined this week by Emily Schmemily. How are you doing today, Emily?
Hi, I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Oh, back at work, which is fine because the kids don't come back till next week, so it's still, and like the teachers aren't even back till Thursday, so it's pretty chill.
Are you at a year-round school?
Well, we're at like school now. Like I guess at some point they decided kids summer vacation was like ruining kids. Like it's too long, and so I think they have like not quite 2 months off now instead of like 3 months, and then they get longer breaks scattered throughout the year.
Yeah, that's a year-round school. That was my elementary school was like that.
Okay, I don't
because in my elementary school it was year-round school, so we had about a month off for winter break, a month off for spring break, almost till the end of June, and come back in early August.
Yeah, this is like kind of like that, but they don't get a month off for spring break, but they get a week off at Thanksgiving, and then like 2 weeks at spring break instead of 1 week, which I was used to, and then like a month off, like almost a month at Christmas, and then like some other additional breaks. It seems like it's a little bit more spread out, but it's not quite. Like when I was in elementary school, we had like a really, like, I don't know if this system still exists, where I think it was because we didn't have enough classrooms, but we were on tracks, and one track will be on and another track will be off.
Interesting.
And like, and God forbid you were on a different track than your sibling, because like then your vacations will be all messed up. But I think they tried to not do that, but I know it happened. And because I remember one.
I've never heard of that.
Well, because I remember, no, it was the thing that when things got messed up for my family when I finished when I was in junior high school, and my brother was still in elementary because he was on this weird track system. And so my brother got to go to Disney World with my mom, and I had to stay home and go to school, and my dad stayed home.
Oh, that's terrible.
That was like the worst thing that happened to me in my young
That's
life, to be
awful.
honest. Yeah, when you're at school and you know your brother's in Florida at Disney World.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Okay, I'm about to get a little
Sorry about
dark
that.
for a second, but the more I think about that, that had to have been some crazy result of because that was when my parents were kind of split up. That had to have been some crazy
Yeah.
fight between them where my mom's like, I'm taking Carson and we're going to Disney World.
Yeah.
But that's evil.
It's not great.
It's not great, right? So, and I know my dad felt horrible because, okay, I guess there is a couple pluses that happened because during that week, because they were gone for a week, more than a week maybe, my dad did take me out of school twice.
Nice.
Because I think he felt really bad. Because one, I was in, I think I was in 7th grade maybe, or maybe, no, yeah, 7th grade. Because we ended up going, my mom took me the next year. But so it would have been in 7th grade, and I was in 7th grade, and junior high sucked. I mean, for one thing, and two, he knew because my brother would call me. He'd call me every day and tell me everything he did at Disney World, and I think he did it half to be like, "Hey, here's all the cool stuff I'm doing," and the other half was, "Hey, here's all the cool stuff I'm doing." So. And here's how what of a weird kid I was. The thing that I was most jealous of was at the arcade, which I later ended up playing this game when I went to the Disney World. When I went to the hotel, because we stayed at the same hotel that my mom and my brother stayed at, they had the first Street Fighter game, the arcade version, of the original Street Fighter, which even at that time was extremely, some people denied its existence. And my brother's like, I'm playing it right now. You only can play as Ryu. It's crazy. And the Sagat or whatever Sagat is the boss. And he's like, it's nuts. And he was telling me all about it. And I remember relaying this information to kids on the playground, and they were very jealous. So I thought that was cool. And yeah, so that was my brother's at Disney World, and I'm like, he's playing Street Fighter. But then my dad did two things. He took me out of school on two separate occasions, one of which was to go to the San Diego Sports Arena to my very first WWF show.
Nice.
I managed, because I'd been begging him, and I think he finally was like, well, I guess this is the time. So he took me to WWF, which is awesome. And then he did take me out of school, and he told me that I had to go to the doctor. And instead, he took me to Disneyland.
Nice.
That was great. Yeah. And it was just me and him. Usually it would be our family, and we had to do stuff that they wanted. And me and my dad were the only people that always wanted to stay till it closed.
Yeah.
So that was pretty great.
I would have been a thorn in your side at Disneyland as a kid. Because we would go, me and my sister would go with our grandparents, and all I would want to do is hide from the other people behind my grandparents and go home. That's all I wanted to do at Disneyland as a kid.
So you really are not a fan of theme parks.
Oh.
What was it about it that you weren't having it?
I think I just didn't care for the crowds, which is weird because I go to Comic-Con every year now, and even this year when I wasn't gonna go, I ended up going in on one day.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just a little much for me. I was a very shy little kid, and I think it was just a little too much excitement for me. I didn't care for it.
Wow.
I wanted to
God,
just play Pokemon on my Game Boy alone.
I loved Disneyland so much. And I remember, that was, so I guess that, but even while I'm at Disneyland, all I could think about was Carson's at freaking Disney World right now. Like even at Disneyland, that's all I was thinking about.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, I guess it worked out but the next year my mom took my brother and I, but even then my brother still was like, I've been one more time than you.
Yeah.
But hey, I made up for that because then I went with Phil and Janelle, and it was awesome. And so now I'm tied with Carson.
Nice.
I need to.
Did you go to Epcot either time?
Oh yeah, freaking love
We went
Epcot.
to we went to Orlando once when I was 12, but we didn't go to Epcot, which seems to me like the one that I would enjoy the most.
It definitely would be because it's way more chill
Yeah.
and it's really cool. Like because you're like traveling around the world, and they have these people. They have like people from all over the world manning the different countries. Like they're actually from that country, and there's cool
Yeah,
shops and there's
that
like
sounds really cool.
and like it's awesome. And so and then like all that you can eat around the world, like all the different little restaurants, and it's really great. I love Epcot.
Yeah, that was the
And
one part
now
we did we were there. We
yeah.
went to Disney World
And now
first,
as an adult,
and we went to Gatorland.
oh yeah. Well, you went to Gatorland. I always want to go to Gatorland. What was that like?
We knew someone at Gatorland too, so they took us like we got to see stuff that
Oh.
they don't show everybody.
Did you get to like Gator roll or anything?
We didn't get to Gator roll. We did do that terrible thing that I feel bad about now, where you sit on the Gator and hold their mouth shut.
Oh yeah. That can't be. They can't. There's no way they like that.
I really hope they don't do that anymore. I
don't think they do. I really don't. I don't think they do.
Yeah. But then also we went into like this dude's office, and I held a tarantula and I held a scorpion, which was uncharacteristically brave of me.
I was gonna say, man, I could not see myself holding a scorpion or a tarantula.
Yeah.
Even now, I don't know. Well, I mean,
I think now I could hold a tarantula again.
I could probably hold a tarantula. Although after watching the Mabim Bam show where they made Travis do it,
yeah,
like that made me nervous because that thing was huge.
They're very big, but I think that to me is more of a comfort.
I think it's the furry would just the fuzz would like really freak me out.
See, the size and the fuzz is what makes me comfortable because they're closer to a dog.
Yeah, but I don't know, a fuzzy spider.
But I definitely would not be able to hold a scorpion today. I don't know what 12-year-old me was thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. Ugh. Scorpions, like I've eaten a scorpion.
Yeah, like a dead one, like in a lollipop.
Well, not it was dead, but in Beijing, I was just feeling real bold, and they had deep fried scorpion on a stick.
I think I would eat that if I was in Beijing. Like I think that is something where I would be able to get into.
Because I mean, like we're there, it's just this guy on the street. It's like 10 cents, and I'm like, why not? Like when am I ever gonna be anywhere where someone hands me a scorpion on a stick and says, "Here, eat this"?
Yeah, I would eat that too. Let me ask you, how'd that treat your stomach, the scorpion?
It was fine. It was because it was mostly like batter.
Yeah.
You know, it was a little crunchy.
I'd imagine it's kind of like if you go to like some Asian restaurants, you'll get like chicken feet that's fried.
Yeah. It was a lot like that. And then because I also ate, well, it was good practice because let me tell you, I ate so many chicken feet because the chicken foot is good luck. So they always give it to their special guests. You know what else they give to their special guests? The honored guests. The most honored person at the table always gets the head of whatever we're eating.
Hell yeah.
And I was the honored guest quite a few times. So I had to at least take a bite. I ate a lot of eyeballs.
Nice. How'd they taste?
Squishy.
Yeah. I think I might be into that. I think I might be into eating eyeballs. I think squishy is a taste I can get behind.
I got used to it after a while. The only thing I ate in China that I seriously like threw up immediately was sea cucumber, and that's because it was too squishy. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be, and it was awful.
How do you mean too squishy?
Because you know, like a sea cucumber is like just really, really squishy.
What do you mean? I've never seen a sea cucumber like outside of like planet Earth. Like,
well, and I used to in SeaWorld, they have the touch tank. And I remember always like trying to dare my brother to touch it, and because they were just like super squishy, because they're just like a giant like squish. So you know those like little I don't know, we called them like water dogs. Like you'd You'd fill them up and you'd like squeeze them.
Huh.
It's like a water balloon almost. And then imagine but it's like imagine eating that. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't picture it. I'm sorry.
It was very jelly. It was like jelly, but meaty jelly. I don't know.
Oh, that does not sound good at all.
No.
It does not sound like an enjoyable experience.
Yeah. So that was the only one where I had major problems. Everything else, I was fine because I'd eaten fish heads before, so that didn't faze me. It was just like, the chicken brains took a little getting used to, but you had to take at least a couple bites or they would be like upset. So you didn't want to. It's all about the face. There, good face. That was like the first thing I learned is like the things that I learned, like the fastest way to make good friends and not upset people is you have to at least take one sip of every drink that you're offered. Okay. You have to, and you have to take one bite of everything that you're offered. Okay. At least. And after that, you're fine. And there's different ways because the trick at going to these fancy banquets, and I was a teacher, I was like a English teacher, and so I got invited to a lot of these, is one, getting really good at making alcohol disappear.
Nice.
Like, and not into your mouth, because otherwise you would, because if you drank every time somebody tried to drink with you, like you would die. So especially at these big old banquets where they're doing like seriously, I went to this one banquet where they did 100 toasts.
That's a lot of toasts.
Yeah. And
I would say that's too many toasts.
Too many toasts, 100%. So it was like their big Chinese New Year banquet at our school, and like the governor of the province was there. And so I had to go to each table, and at every table, and there was like 20 tables, and we did like 5 toasts at every table I went to, because I was going around with him and the other government officials, and it's like, wishing everybody a Happy New Year. And so I basically like carried around, like I would seriously, like, I would drink once every probably like 9 toasts, and I would just kind of pretend. And even that was almost too much. Like, I tried to like figure out, I'm like, okay, if I actually drink once every 10 toasts, that's 10, but that's still like 10 shots.
That's a lot. That's so
I know.
much.
I know. It was real bad. Real bad. But I was like, I can't offend anybody because one, it was such a big school. I didn't know who was my boss and who wasn't. Yeah. And it's like all these higher ups, and like they're all so nice, and like I'm like, I don't want to offend anybody. And yeah, it was pretty crazy. You know what else is crazy is our schedule coming up. We've got a lot of appearances. August 20th, we're going to be, me, Andrew, and Derek will be at the LA Comic Book and Sci-Fi Convention. comicbooksci-fi.com is where you can buy tickets. That's at the Reef. Have you been to this show at all, Emily?
I have not, no.
Well, it's pretty fun. It used to...
Shrine didn't go...
Yeah.
The Reef, yeah.
Yeah, when they moved it, because I think they're using the Shrine primarily as a music venue now. It's owned by Live Nation, the Shrine Auditorium. Not the auditorium, the Expo Center. The auditorium is the big one, then the Expo Center, but then they do concerts and stuff now at the Expo Center too. So that's why we're at the Reef. And the Reef is in downtown. It's pretty cool. You can't miss it. There's a giant chair that's as big as a building. Wow. Because it's like an art thing. And so we're going to be there, and we're going to be selling stuff. And we got and then they got different people signing autographs for money. And the big guns this time are Trisha Helfer from Battlestar Galactica, Beastar G, and Brandon Routh himself, Superman. Now Superman that now got demoted.
Yeah. Todd, his last name I can't remember. Todd Ingram from Scott Pilgrim.
Yes. God, dude, I watch. There's like some. I don't know if it's the official. I think it's an official video, but I'm not sure. Like, there's the Black Sheep video, like the music video. I watch that like all the time.
Yeah,
I love
it's
it.
very good.
I
Yeah,
love it. I love that movie.
it's
I
a
mean,
movie I watched it when I was in Toronto because I wanted to see.
oh, did you go to like any of the places?
They pointed out where the I forget what it's called, the castle whatever, where with
Oh,
the
okay.
skateboarding thing. They pointed
Yeah.
out where that was. We didn't go, and the pizza where they go after the one show is closed. It's no longer a pizza.
Oh,
But Sadie pointed out where it was. So there's a lot of stuff like that. And we did go to we went to Cabbage Town, which is the neighborhood in Toronto, and that's where
oh,
the
nice.
Ronald
Yeah,
is in the movie. So that was cool.
that's cool because they filmed that like in Toronto too, huh? Very cool.
Yeah. And like
Um,
all the locations, like when we were watching the movie, like they go to the Rocket and it's like it pops up on the screen. The Rocket, fun fact, this place is a toilet. And Sadie is like, oh yeah, that place is a toilet because she's been there.
that's awesome. Yeah, I think that might be one of my favorite Hall H panels of all time that we were there for. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
I remember because that was another like, hey, we're gonna like basically walk into Hall H.
Yeah.
And then we saw a lot of cool stuff that day. That was like a Saturday too. I feel like that might have been a Saturday.
Yeah,
Man.
I mean, it was 2010 as well, so I
That's
think
it's still crazy like how fast things got nuts.
Yeah.
Because that should have been like that's a pretty big day. Because I think we saw Joss Whedon and J.J. Abrams, saw the Red panel, Expendables, like Bruce Willis.
I love that you just slipped Red into the middle of that.
Yeah, remember that?
Everybody remember that? That was a good panel actually, because I remember Warren Ellis being.
It was like freaking Helen Mirren and Warren Ellis, and Helen Mirren was wearing some badass shirt that said something about like, I think it was was 2010. I'm trying to figure out what she was protesting something.
Yeah,
and it was awesome.
Warren Ellis was like, people were asking him like, "Oh, is there any concern that they would like ruin your story?" And Warren Ellis was just like, "No, they gave me money.
They gave me money. They can do whatever they want."
Yeah.
Which was wonderful. And I remember and this is how crazy, because now that I'm thinking about it, I think at that panel was when he said he was working on the Castlevania scripts. And 7 years later, they finally released it.
Yeah.
Because I think that was the first mention of Castlevania. I'm pretty sure. Because that's the only I think that was his last Comic-Con appearance. So, and I know I heard him announce it in person at Comic-Con, so that makes sense. Because he was at. Sorry,
go ahead.
No, I was saying you can go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that right now, within arm's reach, I actually have one of the Scott Pilgrim pins that we got at that panel.
Oh yeah, I just remember that Zach Eastman got the 1-Up pin and got to go to that screening afterwards.
I remember Zach Eastman gave me the shirt that he.
Oh yeah, because he went to the shirt booth where the cast members were just making shirts for people.
Is that where he got? I'm so bummed that I have since lost that shirt because I would fit into it now.
Yeah,
like I have now lost enough weight that I would fit into it, and I have no idea where it is.
So yeah, because I think it was like they were making the screen printed shirts, and it was like I think like Kieran Culkin and all the people they were making the shirts for people. That was over at like the Omni across the street.
Yeah.
Comic-Con is nuts.
Yeah.
The fact that we even like were around that is just like pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So that is gonna be LA Comic Book Sci-Fi Con. Then we got Comic-Con Palm Springs, August 25th through the 27th. ComicConPalmSprings.com. More details to come. Yes, hopefully. September, we're going to be releasing the schedule pretty soon. September 2nd through the 3rd is Long Beach Comic Con. So this is 3 weekends in a row. Yeah. It'll be very busy. Also, September 2nd, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, which I'm pretty sure I'll be doing simultaneously, is the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla Battle of Los Angeles. So I think I'm going to be going to Long Beach.
A fucking wild time.
Wild time.
Yeah.
Dude, I hope. My dream is that James Franco comes to Bola because he said he was thinking about it, and like out of necessity, he has to sit next to me, and then we had become wrestle bros,
Yeah,
wrestle buddies.
that'll be fun.
He did high five me because he was so excited at something Sammy Callahan did. So that, I mean, he was into it. He was getting into it.
Yeah.
I think I think he could appreciate what it is, and it really seemed like he was.
Yeah.
All right. So then Long Beach Comic Con our second through the third. We're going to be doing Webcomics Advocates and probably, I think we got Podcast Advocates for that. Yes, we do. And then, speaking of podcasts, October 6th through the 8th, Emily, you're going to be going to Podfest?
You
don't know yet?
Yeah.
Anything that interests you on the schedule?
I haven't really looked at the schedule yet.
I'm just excited that it's at the Regal Biltmore. You know, I didn't realize this until Cheryl was discussing it with Andrew. I love that I've plugged their show like 4 times. But Movies Made Me podcast. Cheryl said that all the Sedgwick hotel scenes, the interiors in Ghostbusters were filmed at the Biltmore.
Oh, that's cool.
We get to go in the ballroom where they busted Slimer.
That's awesome.
I'm super stoked.
That's really cool, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm very excited about that. Also, me and Andrew and Derek ran into Graham Elwood at Comic-Con outside the American Comedy Company, and he was saying how great the Podcaster Lounge is going to be this year.
Oh, awesome.
And that it's actually going to be a much larger space, and I'm hoping that we might actually get like separate tables for each of the shows. That'd be really great. At least some separation, you know, and we're not just crowded around the same boardroom table. I'm not complaining because that has been great, but I think we'd have much better quality recordings if we could get some less bleed through, you know.
Maybe I should go because I feel like Super Mario Brothers Minute would be a good show to bring to that lounge.
Can you imagine, like, you could get like having guests come on to talk, like you could probably get some cool. Can you imagine having like TJ Miller come on your show and talk about Super Mario Brothers the movie? Yeah. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But I think you guys could really get some push there, you know, like some buzz. So I'm really excited about it. And it was cool talking to Graham about it. It was also cool that when Doug Benson came out, because I guess he'd been on Douglas movies, and he was like, "Hey, wrestling guy," and Doug Benson remembers smoking weed with me at Get High Watch Wrestling.
That's awesome.
Because he was like, "Hey, wrestling," and I was like, "Yeah, wrestling." That's great. That's really great. I think that show's like already done. I'm really sad because Ron Funches is like on tour again. I don't know what's gonna. The 2 that they did were amazing. It was him and X-Pac basically doing Mr. Science Theater 3000 to like wrestling clips, and then they'd have some other comedians. Like the first episode they had Brian Posehn. It was awesome. It was so awesome. Brian Posehn, whom we met. Was that a WonderCon? I feel like that was a WonderCon.
The Comic-Con we met him.
Oh yeah.
And then we took years later. Yeah.
Well, we took a picture with him, and then a couple years later, I was like, "Hey, Brian Posehn." He was like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
That was more
good times.
Spazzo Brendo. I forgot to talk about when we met Robert Kirkman. I didn't know what to say to him, and I was just like, "You were really great on Nerdist," and he was like, "Oh yeah, that was great," and then that was it. That was my Robert Kirkman. He was very good on. He's really funny when he's a really good podcast guest.
He is.
All right.
I forgot to remind you before we started. We need to talk about Marmaduke.
I just remembered that
good.
It is time.
The spirit of Marmaduke grabbed us both because
I know, just right at the same time. Yeah. Okay, so I do want to remind that we've had 2 really crazy Marmadukes. Emily, I feel like I should at least tell you that we recently had a Marmaduke where the moral of the Marmaduke was that when Dot tells Phil to stop it when they are doing when they're doing bedroom activities, which I don't know what they're doing in this panel. But then Marmaduke tries to break it up because he thinks that Phil, the husband, is like assaulting her. Dot gets mad and then says, when I say stop it, Marmaduke, I don't mean stop it. Do you understand? And then the look on Marmaduke's face, I gotta show you this, is beyond priceless. That's Marmaduke being very confused about sexual assault.
That's a bad comic.
Yeah, right? This is a Marmaduke. This is a Marmaduke comic. What is happening?
That's a bad Marmaduke.
It's messed up, right? Yeah, Derek didn't believe me how messed up Marmaduke was, and then we just casually read that. We're like, whoa.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's the Marmaduke creator trying to be like, oh, these consent people talking about consent are getting out of hand. I'd better write something about this.
Yeah.
But his only form is that he has Marmaduke to push his weird, shitty ideas.
Telling the kids of 1983, like, hey, kids, no means yes.
Oh, Marmaduke.
I know, right?
I come here for a joyful comic about a dog who doesn't know how big he is, and then this is what you give me.
Yeah, well, hopefully this time that's what we're going to get. All right, so Dot, again, everybody in this family hates Marmaduke. It's pretty obvious. They don't want him there, which continues our theory that, I don't know if you've heard our Marmaduke theory, Emily, but Phil and I have a pretty solid evidence-based, like, I guess you could call it a, like, worldview of Marmaduke, that Marmaduke is actually, I mean, he's not really a dog because he can change size and does at will. And so we discovered that Marmaduke may or may not be the possessed spirit of Phil's father, whom he murdered.
Who he murdered is an interesting twist on that. Well,
I mean, we got the vibe that Phil had some serious dad issues, and then we were like, maybe he killed his dad, because Marmaduke has this weird obsession with like people giving his bones to people, and we think there might be like a Chucky thing where like Marmaduke needs to like use like bones to like transfer his soul to like a new host to get out of this dog body.
Yeah.
I think it's very intricate, and I'm sure Phil could explain it better. But we have a lot of support comics.
I'm on board. I believe you there.
And we're documenting them. But yeah, anyways. So Dot is in the bedroom, not in the bed, in the bedroom, and she's yelling at Marmaduke, "You're not getting up on this bed. Out of the bedroom." So there she is.
Yeah.
All right. And then so Marmaduke comes running down the stairs, which I think Marmaduke is as big as the staircase. Like, he takes up the whole stairs.
Yeah.
And just clomp, clomp, clomp. And then now he's somehow shrunken down where he can fit in the whole chair.
That is a classic skill that real big dogs.
I know. It's true. Okay. So Emily, I would consider Emily a dog expert. So I definitely, I would, defer to you on that.
Thank you.
So, all right. So Marmaduke's curled up, and so I think it's Phil says, "Out of the living room." Oh wait, no, it's still Dot. She's still yelling at him. So now he's all sad. Sad Marmaduke.
Sure.
That might be the saddest Marmaduke panel I've ever seen. Just a
really
blank. Okay, it looks like it looks like he's like in an empty space. He's in a void.
Oh yeah, that is a very sad Marmaduke.
And he's just turned around and like.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out the sort of perspective from which I was looking at Marmaduke, but now that I see it, yeah, that's very sad.
There's negative space, and it's just nothing. He's in a sad zone. Yeah. And so then Dot says, "I have to make lunch out of the kitchen." And now he's outside.
Is this a collection of Marmaduke Sunday strips, or are they always this long?
These are, I think these are all Sunday strips, because weekday strips are only one panel.
Yeah.
So I think that's what that is. Okay. There's no way that he made these just for this book, because no newspaper cartoonist is going to work that much.
Yeah.
So I think these are just collections of Sunday strips. All right. So then, oh man, Okay, this is another like no punchline comic. It's just
Okay.
real sad. You got a real sad one. So then Dot is like looking out the window and she says, "Oh dear, Marmaduke, poor dear." And then she says, "You know you're allowed in your doghouse." And that's it.
That is just sad.
That's just real sad. And Marmaduke just continuously looks sad. That's
Yeah.
all this is.
That's a real bummer of a strip.
Man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we
sometimes
gotta get Marmaduke out of there.
sometimes you never know when Brad Anderson is just going to throw a curveball at you. And like, I think he was just in a bad place that week.
Yeah.
I mean, he goes from like these like, "Hey kids, consent isn't real," to, man, Marmaduke's just in a real bad place, everybody. I don't understand.
Yeah. It feels like most sort of newspaper comic strip creators they fall into three categories, which is sort of decent people.
Yeah.
Bill Watterson is a category to himself as like a good person.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably the holiest of all.
Yeah, and then there's just
and then there's Scott Adams.
Cretins, and I would put Scott Adams in that category. And what I'm suggesting is maybe Mr. Marmaduke is in the same category.
We're not sure. I mean, God rest his soul or something. We have been trying to locate his son for quite some time, and it's very difficult because Brad Anderson's son is named Paul Anderson.
Yeah. There's a lot of fans of Paul Anderson.
Yeah, exactly. But for a while, for a minute, I'm like, what if PT or Paul WS was the son?
Yeah.
But it's not.
Theory.
I mean, that'd be amazing because the son now does do the comic, but dude is a ghost. No contact information.
Was moonlighting doing Marmaduke.
I want that to be the case so bad. And I would love it if that was the case. Like, I would love it. Because this Paul Anderson does not exist. From what you would think you'd be able, like, I mean, I've even used some of my more, like insider ways of getting a hold of people. Like, I cannot find this dude.
Yeah. So
you might be onto something there. If I ever run into PTA, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, come on."
You did run into PTA once.
Oh yeah, but I didn't know about the Marm then. Yeah. I know now.
The Marm.
Oh yeah. I need Phil to come back so we can get a Marmaduke brick update. Did you hear about this?
No.
When Brad Anderson died, the town that he grew up in, that he lived in, actually, I think his whole life up in upstate New York, they built a statue of him and Marmaduke, and you can get paver bricks, and they have at Disneyland in front of the main entrance, and we ordered a Radio BrendoMan brick complete with Radio BrendoMan logo and website on it, and the phrase "Embrace the Marm." And I think it might be there now. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, forever. It's great. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Real quick, I just wanted to. We are going to end this episode with a Comic-Con special recording featuring me and Andrew Lindy and Derek Armijo. But I just want to finish this segment just by asking you real quick. What are you currently? What's like some highlights of watching, reading, listening to, anything like that?
I've been getting very into Stardew Valley recently.
Hell yes. Yeah. Oh, you got to watch out for that.
That game is good as hell.
I lost 50 hours of my life without even blinking.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Right now,
on PC, right?
What's that?
Are you on PC? Yeah. That's the way to go.
The sort of narrative I'm creating in my head now is that my character is just this weird lesbian who came to town and started flirting with all the girls, because if you look at all like the relationships, you see how many hearts you have with everyone. All the single women have hearts and nobody else does.
I'm too dedicated to the rest of the game to even try to get hearts. I'm that dude.
I'm sort of torn now between two people, between Abigail and Emily. Emily would be cute because my character is also named Emily, so that would be a cute little relationship.
That would be cute.
But yeah, that's a lot of fun. I've recently reached level 100 in the mines.
Oh snap! Yeah.
Gotta get that bus fixed so I can get out to
that bus going. and then it's like a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
That's what I love about that game, man.
There's just so much to do.
There's so much to do, and it's so fun. And like for a while, I'm like, I'm obsessed with fishing, and then for a while, I'm obsessed with this. I'm actually gonna work on my farm. And then like when people started posting all their farms on Reddit, and I got all these ideas, and like I realized you could fence in your animals and other tricks. I got into honey. I got into mushrooms real big for a while.
Yeah.
Just all that stuff. It's such a deep game, and the fact that it's only made by one guy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's so amazing. Everybody should check it out if you haven't yet. It's incredible.
I'm planning other characters and farms I want to make.
I
want to make one where I'm just a really trashy sellout where I betray the town for JoJo Mart.
Oh, I haven't done that yet. I want to do that too.
Yeah.
Because you could totally sell out, and then you don't have to do any of the work.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's got to be some downside to that.
Yeah, I wonder if like the town gets visibly more polluted or
it has to, right? Like people start like dying of mysterious illnesses or something.
Yeah.
You reading any books or anything like that? Comics?
Not really.
You still on the Marvel Unlimited?
No, kind of dropped off that because the tablet that I had kind of just got old and
yeah, me too. I think tablets are not meant to last very long.
Yeah, I know.
My Nook, I went through 2 Nooks, and I'm like, all right, I'm done with these.
Yeah.
They were so cheap.
I started watching Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, which is a really fun, super gay anime. That people can check out. Yeah. It's about this woman who sort of wanders drunk into the forest and pulls a sword out of the dragon. And then the dragon shows up at her house the next day in the form of a human woman claiming that she's in love with her. It's
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's on Crunchyroll. You can check that out.
I am currently, like I said, trying to keep up with the New Japan G1 Climax tournament and failing pretty miserably.
Yeah.
And then other than that, I was watching so now I had to take a break from I had finished Kimmy Schmidt season 3, which was really good. And I was watching Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, but now I'm pretty much just watching wrestling.
Yeah.
For a while. I don't know, we'll see. I don't know what's going to happen when TV starts up again, like the new seasons and stuff. Yeah. I mean, Game of Thrones already started, and I'm already behind one episode.
I don't know what happened between last season and this one, because I went from just being fully into Game of Thrones to I just could not care less about watching the new episodes.
Well, did you watch the season premiere?
No.
I thought it was really good. I'm just I'm one episode behind already.
I don't know. I completely lost interest.
Oh man, I guess I'd lost interest in the sense that it's been so long and there's so many other things.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I was like back in it, I was like, oh yes,
Daenerys too, which is sort of new in my life. A lot of the Polygon shows.
Oh yeah.
Really fun ongoing PUBG stream going on Polygon. They call Awful Squad.
Okay.
Pat and Allegra over at Polygon have a fun series called Let's Watch the Baseball Game, which is a title that makes no sense, except that it started as them watching the intro to every Mario sports game, but now it's just them watching every intro for different video game series.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just did Crash Bandicoot, and the hook to that one was that they both hate Crash.
I've never been a fan. One, I love that people had forgotten how hard that game was. Yeah. So that when they're all complaining about how hard the remastered version is, I'm like, you freaking nostalgia burns you again.
Yeah, I never played it because I never had a PlayStation 1, so I kind of missed out on the whole Crash phase.
Yeah, my brother got a PlayStation, and so we had it, and I remember I'm like, this game's really hard, and I don't like it. I want to play Jet Moto some more because that was my jam.
Yeah, I was playing Donkey Kong 64 at the time.
Oh yeah, see, we didn't have my brother ended up getting a 64 later. I missed like a few console cycles during that period.
Yeah.
Because I just, I was way into computers by then.
Yeah.
I was on the PC bandwagon before it was cool. I'm just
Wow.
kidding. I'm not that guy. But I was playing PC stuff, but mostly just, hey, this internet's real fun. That was basically where I was in 1997, 98. And then I discovered emulators and called it, and I was like, who needs a Nintendo 64? Except the guys next to us had one, and I failed some classes because of GoldenEye. So even without one, I still managed to like have it ruin my life.
Did you play GoldenEye Source when that came out recently?
No.
Do you
Is
know
it any good?
Do you remember? Do you? What was it?
Is it any good? Did it
Yeah,
actually come out?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. It's downloadable. You can download it and
But
play
is it the whole thing? Like I heard they only had like one level done or something.
When I played it, there was 2 or 3.
Okay. I mean,
And
as long as they have
multiplayer only. It was
I mean,
multiplayer only.
Yeah. But like you only, I guess you really only need a couple levels for it. I mean,
it was a lot of fun. I enjoy. Again, I do not enjoy multiplayer shooters like ever, but I think GoldenEye had that nostalgia factor for me.
Yeah, 100%. Because I'm not a huge first-person guy either, because I'm terrible, as evidenced by me getting my butt kicked by all kinds of teen celeb boys and the IMDb vote. Although it was great showing the dude from Teen Wolf how to use the flamethrower.
Yeah,
that was pretty
awesome.
Cool. All right, well, I'm pretty much the only thing that I'm playing video game wise right now is I've been really into Diablo 3 on PS4 because they finally put the seasons in, which is like you get to do a new character and there's all kinds of new challenges. So it's like playing a brand new game. It's really fun. And it's competitive, and it's pretty cool. And then they actually released a new character. They finally released the Necromancer, and that's been something talked about since Diablo 1.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to finally play as it. And I think it's super overpowered, but in such a fun way that I just love it. You just destroy everything with your giant skeleton armies, and it's really fun. But yeah, so I think that's going to do it for this week's episodes. And Emily, I was so great to have you on.
It was great to be on. Thank you for having me.
And we'll have to have you back soon. I also would like to thank everybody that we hung out with and came to our panel, Webcomics Advocates panel, which I will be posting probably next week as one of the episodes. Nice. It went really well. I was at first worried about our turnout, and then I talked to a couple different people that had panels at the same time at 9 p.m., including Dave Kellett, who's a big-time webcomics guy, and they all had around the same number of people in the room. Nice. So I'm like, all right, I think we did okay. Because, a lot of, cool stuff is happening outside at that time, so not a lot of people in the convention center going to panels at 9 p.m. Yeah. But it was still a great time, and I really enjoyed it, and it was great having Patrick and Madeline and Eddie with us, and you can check out all the information for our next upcoming panels, and if you want to be part of our webcomics community, check us out at webcomicsadvocates.com. And like I said earlier, our next appearance is going to be at Comic-Con Palm Springs, followed by Long Beach Comic-Con. So we'll be back on the road soon. Yeah. And for I was going to say one other thing. Forgot what it was. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, check out our friends at Crude Ink. They make cool vinyl artwork. That's at I had the URL and I skipped it. That is etsy.com/shop/Crude Ink. Also, if you're in the Big Bear area, check out Mountain Room Escapes. Have you ever done a room escape, Emily?
I have not, no.
Well, they're really fun. But if you're ever up in Big Bear, they have a really great one. And if you go to mountainroomescapes.com, I've done this room escape. It was the first room escape I ever did. I had a lot of fun. Mountainroomescapes.com, use the code RadioBrendoMan, and you get $5 off each ticket.
Wow.
So, good deal.
We're not all over the place on this show.
All over the place here. We love to give you good deals, and we like having you here to listen to them. And I'm going to go to bed. So, Emily, It's been a pleasure. And everybody else, be sure to go to radiobrendo.com for more and hit us up on there at BrendoMan on our social medias. And for Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creecy.
I'm Emily Schmemily.
And have a good one, everybody. And John Goobang do. Awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. Yeah, this was awesome. I'm going to stop recording now.
Yes.
And I will
Cool.
get you these files soon.
Well, have fun house sitting.
Yeah.
Have fun with that Basset Hound.
I will. He's so
What's
cute.
the Basset Hound's name?
Joey.
Joey. I like that. That's a good dog name.
Yeah. He's a little cutie.
How are your dogs?
They're good. You know, Pretty's old as hell at this point. But yeah, they're good.
How's Nucky?
Lucky's doing great. Hanging in.
I never finished Boardwalk Empire. Did you?
No. Yeah, I gave up a couple seasons after we named him, actually.
I made it pretty deep, but I feel like I might have missed the last. I don't know. Did you get to where Charlie Cox was on the show?
Yeah, he was like telling us season 1.
Oh yeah. Duh.
I got to where he got killed off the show even.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
All right.
I left soon after he got killed off, though.
Okay. He's really good in that show.
Yeah.
I really like him. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and yeah, have a good rest of your week.
Yeah, you too.
And hopefully see you soon.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.